I don't believe what I just saw.
This is one of the great moments in the history of baseball.
I believe in miracles. Yes!
Is this the dagger?
It's January 28th, and on this day in 1956, Elvis Presley made his first ever appearance on national television. So let's get our hips shaking, everybody. On today's episode, Montana and Rice boat race the Broncos. Candace Parker volunteers to dominate the competition. Kevin James robbed of another Oscar nomination. Madden 58 hits the shelves. Don't mess with the Bentley brothers. And while you're at it, don't mess with the Williams sisters. Dallas double dips it while Minnesota just watches. Plus, a lot of Canadians sports legends are celebrating birthdays today. So just like Elvis in 56, this episode will outrage your parents and make you feel tingles in places you've never tingled before. Don't be afraid to stand up and scream for another episode of This Day in Sports.
Well, listen.
What is happening?
You get a chance to get down here to cabin, Mississauga. Good chance to get a haircut. And a haircut you want, not one that you're being forced to. Again, now I'm going to like old Southern lawyer. Been forced to have a haircut.
Jerry Falwell.
Well, are you Elvis or are you the Colonel?
No, I'm trying to be Elvis.
Okay.
I was literally...
Matter, we can get you a real good haircut down here at the cabinet.
But the Colonel from Clue.
Oh.
Yeah. It's Colonel Mustard.
Well, it's a chance to come down to cabin or a haircut.
Okay. I was just going to, as I finished that, I was going to take credit for not doing Elvis.
We want to get subscribers, not lose.
Self a beer trim, a cabin. All right. Well, here we are at cabin.
You've ruined cabin's business, too.
I'll tell you, this is a chance to get yourself a haircut. Take care of that beard. Get yourself a gentleman's supply item. Because at cabin here in Mississauga, cabin out there at Union Station, and cabin down there in the Queen's Quay. Great chance to grab all the things you need to make yourself a better gentleman or help the gentleman in your life to be a better gentleman himself. And then if you're going to go...
There we go. You know,
For more information, check out cabinforlife.ca.
They could, if you had Elvis, sideburns. They could take care of him here. That's the kind of thing
they'll do anything like
Sure.
that. For sure they will.
Yeah.
And especially if you have a good beard, they can trim it down to those sideburns.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know. Frank, how do you feel about Elvis?
Love him.
You love Elvis. Yeah.
I do, too.
Okay. We're all good with Elvis,
Big
Matt?
fan.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen the
Allegedly.
movie. Allegedly. I haven't seen the movie.
I didn't like the movie.
Oh, I did. I wasn't talking about the movie. Yeah, the movie's kind of just okay.
Just to Elvis Presley. Like
Elvis
Aaron Presley.
Big fan of Elvis.
How do you feel about Elvis Aaron Presley?
The music is nice.
Yeah. We like Elvis Stoico. He's a friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
And we like Elvis Costello.
Oh,
Very much.
very much.
And
so.
we like Elvis. So we're pretty good with the Elvises.
Yeah.
Elvis Gerback?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Sure. Totally sure. Just checking in.
Yeah.
Because Elvis, I think he even said on the show, but Elvis Stoico was named after Elvis Presley.
I'm sure he was.
Yep. So what do we got here? Matt, you want to kick this one off, or do you want to shake it up a little bit? What do you want
let's shake it up.
Let's shake it up.
Shake it up.
Good. All right. Hell, I'll go first.
Oh, wow.
1901. The original American League charter was signed today, officially announcing its status as baseball's second major league. Because geography, it was known as the Great Lakes League in the late 1890s, then changed to American League. I bet the Spiders are in there, Matt. In 1900, when the National League kicked 4 teams out, the league planned a 140-game schedule, and rosters were set at 14 players per team. Only 14 players per team. The 8 charter AL franchises. Here we go. Boston Americans, now the Red Sox. Baltimore Orioles, folded after 2 years. Chicago White Stockings, Detroit Tigers. Cleveland Blues, now the Guardians. One-time Spiders.
No.
Okay. Philadelphia Athletics, Washington Senators, and Milwaukee Brewers, who moved to St. Louis a year later, become the Browns, then became the Baltimore Orioles in 1954.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's right away. We're tying into our draft today, too.
We absolutely are.
Because there are some fantastic logos from those teams.
Sure.
And our draft today will be...
The worst logos in sports.
Yeah, the worst logos in sports history. So
yes.
We may some American League teams may be featured in
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
I like the Chicago White Stockings. That's quite the name.
Yeah.
Did you see the stockings? Did you see them play yesterday?
You know why they had to shorten it? Because exactly what you're saying. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Too fancy.
Too fancy.
People had time for words back in the 19th century, though.
That's true, eh? You had a lot more time on your hands for words.
Yeah, what are you going to do all day? Yeah. Words.
Didn't even have radio.
No, not even radio. That's right. And nothing.
Yeah.
Sit around playing the spoons.
Fast forward to 1984, when on January 28th, during a 4-2 loss to the Kings at Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Oilers center Wayne Gretzky, he had his NHL record streak of 51 consecutive games with at least 1 point come to an end. Gretzky had 4 shots on net in the game, and he was on the ice for almost the entire final 5 minutes, trying to get that point. LA started goalie Marcus Matson, who was appearing in just his second NHL game, and Gretzky totaled 61 goals and 92 assists during his record-setting 51-game streak. That's incredible, the 51-point game streak. But also that he couldn't get one just in the last 5 minutes there against Marcus Matson.
Sometimes it works that way. Sometimes you completely destroy a goalie who's amazing, and it's the other way around, and you're just so frustrated. But that's
or they know who's getting the puck. It's like when McCaffrey they're trying to get him to continue his touchdown scoring streak or whatever, and they just put him in there, and the defense just keyed on him.
Yeah.
But
51 to me is still the record.
Yeah,
I know that it's still the record
points,
streak
right? Yeah.
for consecutive games with a point. Am I right? It sounds a little light to me.
Interesting.
Like I know it's not easy. I'm not. Obviously, it's not, because if that's the record, that means it's hard.
Yeah.
But 51 just doesn't sound like that much in the history of the NHL.
Yeah.
I just think of Gretzky and Lemieux and those guys like having 200 points in a season. You kind of just assume they must have scored every night. You know?
Yeah, right. Frank, 51-point streak. Well, what's the goal? What's the goal scoring streak? Because that would be interesting to compare.
What's
the
a
points.
really good idea is to bring up questions we don't.
No,
Frank's
well,
got this.
Frank's on it.
Frank's got
what's
this.
the official question?
The official question is the 51 games in a row with points in a hockey game. Is that still the same record?
It
Still
is.
the record?
I looked it
Yeah.
up.
And then
Okay, so
continuing goals. Who has the most goals?
What's the longest goal scoring streak?
Oh, longest goal scoring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like a Yager.
But
just gonna throw
to
it out
Mike's
there.
point, I'm
Wanna
like,
guess?
if let's have a guess each.
Yeah.
I'll go Yager.
No, I'm guessing it's an old timer.
I'm going to say Brett Hull.
I'm gonna
That's a
guess
good one.
it's like a Newsy or like a Joe Hall,
like a Newsy. You've already brought Newsy.
in every.
maybe Joe Hall or something. But yeah, it could be if it's a modern guy.
Yeah.
I'd go Gretzky still.
Gretzky.
Well, Hull did
Yeah,
50 and
that's about it.
50.
He scored 61 goals and 153 points over a 51 game span.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
record we were talking about. But what's the goal scored? Like most games in a row with we'll
We'll come back to that. Let's continue.
Let's call it right there. Let's call the
Good
episode
night,
there,
everybody.
guys.
1990, January 28th, in the most lopsided Super Bowl in history, the 49ers crushed Denver 55-10 in the Superdome in New Orleans. San Francisco became the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls with 2 different head coaches, Bill Walsh and then George Seifert. Joe Montana won his 3rd Super Bowl MVP award, throwing 5 touchdown passes, giving him 11 TD passes and 0 picks in 4 Super Bowls. Ahem. It was the Broncos. Sorry, I got a bit of a thing. It was the Broncos' 4th Super Bowl loss without having won one yet, and it was their 3rd Super Bowl defeat in the last 4 years. Denver had only 167 total yards of offense in the game, and the Niners had almost 300 more. The halftime show, just to show you how far things have come, was a celebration of the music of the city of New Orleans that featured clarinetist Pete Fountain and a celebration of the 40th anniversary of the Peanuts comic strip.
Wow. Ooh. Now, first of all, it's got to be Fontaine because it's
it
really
probably is.
and
Good
but what
point.
the
Pete
Peanuts,
Fountain.
but the Peanuts comic
The Peanuts comic strip. That was the halftime show. Now, this is not 1932. Like, we were alive. This is 1990.
We were alive.
Like,
We were living.
It was Hammer time, and we're doing... The halftime show featured a clarinetist.
But I don't remember this.
So
would
weird.
we not watch the halftime shows in 19?
Well, I
We
don't
did.
think
I just don't remember. We'll have to
Well,
look.
clearly we didn't as much as we do
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, someone did not have their finger on the pulse at that time. They didn't
I don't
know
think it. Yeah, no.
what people wanted.
No.
Yeah.
But that was the celebration. That was the halftime show.
I think the problem is they had too much. It's like you got the Peanuts comic strip. I've already got Pete Fountain.
Well, we're gonna have to double book them, guys.
Yeah. Well, they'll have to split time.
Can Pete Fontaine play the Peanuts theme song on flute, or was it clarinet? Flute,
Clarinet.
clarinet.
He could probably play both. Yeah, for 80,000 people. Yeah.
Should we get back to the goal scoring streak?
I was gonna go get a beer, but Pete Fountain's playing clarinet.
I gotta see this.
Shout out Pete Fountain, friend of the show. Yeah, seriously.
Let's get him on. All right, let's get serious, you guys.
Okay.
1990, same time as this thing was happening over here with the clarinet and all that. Yvonne Lendl won his second consecutive Australian Open with his over his opponent in the final, Stefan Edberg. He was forced. It was this is terrible because I'm laughing about this. Okay, Yvonne Lendl, guys, won his second consecutive Australian Open title over his opponent because Stefan Edberg, his opponent, was forced to quit halfway through the match with a torn stomach muscle.
Ooh.
It was the first time the Australian Open men's final was decided by an injury resignation. This is happening the same day, right?
What are the chances?
As this guy's playing the clarinet.
Maybe the clarinet caused the torn
Oh
stomach
my
muscle.
God.
Maybe he was dancing. He was just like
He's enjoying it too much.
doing the twist.
Oh boy. Okay, I finally slurped that one out. Finally got it out
that
there.
was good.
All right, friends, go ahead.
Matt, go ahead.
2017.
Top that, Matt.
Okay, I will. 2017, I got your tongue twist there. 2017, Serena Williams won her 23rd Grand Slam title when she defeated her older sister Venus 6-4, 6-4 in the women's final of the Australian Open. It marked the 9th time the two sisters had met in the finals of a Grand Slam event and the 7th time in those 9 meetings that Serena had emerged victorious. Serena Williams, we've said it before, just the greatest. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. Not taking anything away from Venus too, but Serena Williams, just incredible. 23rd Grand Slam title.
2007, University of Tennessee sophomore forward Candace Parker had 9 points in an 80-51 blowout win at Alabama, making her the fastest player in UT women's basketball team history to reach 1,000 points. She reached 1,000 in just 56 games, 1 game faster than legend Shemiqua Holdsclaw and 2 games faster than fellow legend Tamika Catchings. A few months later, she was named the NCAA tournament's most outstanding player as she led the Vols to a national title. If you're the highest scoring player in University of Tennessee women's basketball history, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's about as premier a program in any college sport that there is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Candace Parker is that person.
2013, Tiger Woods upped his lead to 8 strokes with 5 holes remaining, but frustrated with the pace of play ahead of him, finished with 2 bogeys and a double bogey in his last hour, but still won the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. It was his 75th PGA event, won his 7th time winning that tournament and an 8th time winning at Torrey Pines. He also won in 2008, the 2008 U.S. Open there, in a playoff despite playing with a stress fracture and a torn ACL.
Oh,
He played through a lot of pain, that old
Yeah,
Tiger there.
That's
Yeah.
that's
And
a long
continues to
18.
try.
Yeah.
Continues to try.
Yeah.
yeah. That's why back in our injuries too soon.
Oh, right.
I remember
take
picking
Tiger
him.
Woods. Yeah.
Tiger Woods took a little bit of heat for that. Stand by the pick.
Listen. If you can take Wes Parsons and win a draft, I figure you can win from anywhere.
Okay. Oh, that's true.
And the
That's
Cleveland
true.
Spiders. And win a
Jesus.
draft. Yeah.
1988, center Marcel Dion, now playing for the Rangers. He scored a second period power play goal during a 5-2 win over the Flyers in Philadelphia, making him the first player in NHL history to score at least 20 goals in each of his first 17 seasons. And it's not like he just scored 20 goals. 24 was, I think, the lowest he scored in those 17 seasons. It was usually a lot more, like including 6 seasons with at least 50 goals. 5 seasons in a row with at least 50 goals. Marcel Dion.
Yep. Ledge.
1958, 35-year-old Brooklyn Dodgers catcher Roy Campanella, a 3-time NL MVP and 11-time All-Star, was paralyzed in a 1-car accident after his car skidded on the ice in Glen Cove, New York, and struck a tree. The accident left him unable to move anything below his shoulders, though eventually he was able to regain substantial recovery of use in his hands and arms. He was constrained to using a wheelchair for the rest of his life, but he lived into his 70s and spent the rest of his life as a coach, motivational speaker, and special consultant to the Dodgers organization, and was voted to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1969, just the second black player ever voted in after Jackie Robinson. Yep. He and Yogi Berra are the only 2 catchers to be named MVP of their league 3 times, which is especially impressive given that he did not play Major League Baseball until he was 26.
Yep.
Wow.
Roy Campanella Yogi and Johnny Bench get talked about as being the kind of, and Roy Campanella, because he had such a brief career because of this, Roy Campanella, if he plays the full length of his career, is every bit in the conversation with those two guys too.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. In the same day, 1958, in the 21st round of the NFL draft, the Eagles selected an offensive tackle out of Cal Poly San Obispo named John Madden. Yeah, that John Madden. He's playing. See, Mike teased it up. Madden 58. He very wisely. Everyone said, "Hey, there can't be that many Madden 58 video games." But sir, I say to you now,
go watch the White Stockings.
Cue the clarinet.
Madden's drafted. His playing career wasn't much to speak of. He spent one season in Philadelphia's practice squad before hanging up his cleats to, of course, become a legendary coach and commentator.
And video game mogul.
Did he
have points and all that video game stuff?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Oh, yes. And especially increasingly so as it would go on, for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to take us way back to 1943 when Blackhawks star Max Bentley set a Chicago franchise record with 7 points during a 10-1 blowout over the Rangers. All 4 of his goals were scored in the third period, and all 4 of them were assisted by his brother, Doug. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
By his brother.
Doug.
And, you know, there was another Bentley brother, Reg, on that team. He only played 11 games for them. His last was a week earlier than this, like a week prior to this game.
Reg.
Poor Reg. But you know what? Reg scored 1 goal while he was up, and it was assisted by his 2 brothers.
Hey,
there
there
it
you
is.
go, Reg.
There
That's
it
pretty
is.
great.
Yeah, Max Bentley, a great Blackhawk and Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
Yep.
2020, sophomore Hornets guard Devontae Graham went 0 for 6 from behind the three-point line during a 97-92 win over the Knicks in Charlotte. That season, Graham set an NBA record for the lowest three-point shooting percentage by a player who made at least 200 threes. While Graham's 218 three-pointers that season sound pretty good, he also missed 367 three-pointers, shooting just 37% from deep that season. So he was... You don't hear a lot about Devontae Graham. He didn't last very long. He was clearly chucking it.
Oh, yeah. There's no one to pass to? I'll throw it up. I'll tell you what was great. In 2022, Home Team, a comedy movie starring Kevin James. I like that it was a comedy movie. I like that.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Starring Kevin James made its debut on Netflix. The movie told the story of New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton coaching his 12-year-old son's football team while he was suspended by the NFL for a year. It currently has a 23 out of 100 rating on Metacritic. I'm actually surprised that the NFL was like, would it even like that happening? I don't know why they would. I can't imagine they'd enjoy that after the suspension. It's kind of flaunting it a bit. Like, oh, great, I'll just go make a movie now. That'd be fun to do.
I'll have a movie made about my life.
Yeah.
Seems like not a very humbling thing to do. Yeah.
They had more things to worry about. They the Will Smith concussion movie had just come out just before that.
Yeah, that's more of a problem.
Problems.
Yeah, they'll let this one go.
Yeah.
But check it out. It's 23% on Metacritic.
Hey, guys, I got an update here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What Madden got paid.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
In, where is it, 2005, it was $150 million to use his name in perpetuity.
Wow.
Oh,
Just
so
a
they
quick
buy him
buyout.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about...
I would take that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Take it.
do we have an update on the streak for longest goals in a game?
Oh, yeah, we got to get that update. Yep.
Whose turn is it to go?
I
while
think
we
it's
wait
mine. I think
Yeah.
it's mine. I was just distracted by the comedy movie. In 1960, the NFL announced that it would be adding 2 expansion franchises in Dallas and Minnesota. The Cowboys began playing that later that year, and the Vikings 1 year later. Interestingly, the city of Dallas received 2 expansion football teams in the same year. The Texans began playing that same year in the newly created rival AFL. There had been an NFL team named the Dallas Texans that played 1 season in 1952, won just 1 game and then folded. Wait, won just 1 game and then folded. Wow.
Yeah.
Both
Maybe that was the goal. Let's go.
Yeah. Go it on a high note. Both the Cowboys and the Texans played their home games at the Cotton Bowl. Is that correct? Their home games.
Yeah.
Okay.
You read it.
It says their home teams. I was double checking. Yeah, they both played at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. 2007, Roger Federer defeated Fernando Gonzalez 7-5, 6-4, 6-4 in the men's finals of the Australian Open to win his 10th career Grand Slam title. He became the first male player since Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon in 1980 to win a Grand Slam without ever losing a set in the entire tournament.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's prime Federer right there.
Yeah, and
That's ponytail Federer.
Thank you for saying that. I'm trying to think if I've got anything left.
No, you started, remember?
Yeah.
You shook it up.
Do you want me to go to the hits?
Yeah, hit it.
Let's hit it up, friends. All right. Quick hits. With the first overall pick of the NFL draft, the Bills selected USC running back O.J. Simpson. Simpson had just won the Heisman Trophy in 1968 and a national championship the year before with the Trojans. A few years later, he became the first player in NFL history to have over 2,000 rushing yards in a season, and that was when they played only 14-game season. O.J. Simpson. Don't know if you heard of him, but hey, he was a good football player, not a great human.
Quick hit.
Allegedly.
Sticking with the draft. Quick hit. 1971. With the first overall pick of the NFL draft, the Boston Patriots select Heisman Trophy winning QB Jim Plunkett from Stanford University. Plunkett was immediately thrown into the starting job for a terrible Patriots team and struggled, throwing 87 interceptions in 61 games over 5 seasons before he was traded to San Francisco. Quick hit.
Quick hit, 2012. Towson University ended its NCAA Division I men's basketball record losing streak of 41 consecutive games by defeating North Carolina Wilmington. The victory was the first for head coach Pat Scarry and the Tigers' first win in almost 2 years since December 2010 against LaSalle. Towson, I believe, is in Maryland.
Okay.
It's a suburb of Baltimore.
Quick hit.
Quick hit.
In 1989, LA's Bernie Nichols scored 2 goals during a 7-6 loss to Edmonton to give him his 49th and 50th of the season in the Kings' 50th game of the season. He also set a Kings record with 13 shots on goal that night. Bernie Nichols, wow, did he ever benefit by playing with Gretzky?
Ouch. Quick elbow.
It's true.
Okay.
It's undeniably true, yeah.
I think everyone would benefit from
Of course. And against the Oilers that night, too.
Am I going to get a quick hit?
Quick hit.
1992, Brett Hull scored his 50th goal of the season in his 50th game of that season. It was the second consecutive season Hull managed the feat, making him just the second player after Wayne Gretzky to do so in back-to-back seasons. Yep. Ironically, it happened at the Forum in L.A. while he was playing against Gretzky's team. Quick hit.
1950.
Very similar, though. Very similar to what he's talked about against Gretzky. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. 1956. Italy won the gold and silver medals in the men's 2-man bobsled competition at the Cortina d'Ampezzo Olympics. Along with a silver medal in the men's 4-man bobsled comp, those were the only 3 medals of the entire competition for the host nation, Italy.
Whoa, there you go. Quick hit. Just a reverse hit. Reverse hit, 88-89 with Bernie Nichols. That was a 150-point season for him. He scored 70 goals that season. 70 goals.
I remember that.
And never was really ever close again. That's the benefit. Quick hit. In 1984, the Florida Panthers set a new NHL record streak for a first-year expansion team by playing their 8th consecutive game without a loss by tying San Jose 3-3. If you remember that fact tomorrow, friends, you are the biggest fan of the show.
Quick hit, 2022. Before their game versus the Capitals, Dallas retired the uniform number 56 of Sergei Zubov. At the time of his retirement, he was the Dallas Stars / Minnesota North Stars career leader in games played, goals, and points by defensemen. Zubov.
Yeah.
He comes up a lot on the show.
A lot on the show.
And a lot in drafts.
We're making sure everyone remembers how great he is.
Friend of the show. Quick hit, 2001. The Ravens demolished the Giants 34-7 in Super Bowl 35. The vaunted Baltimore defense, who had an NFL record that year by allowing just 165 points in the entire season, held New York to just 152 yards of offense and intercepted quarterback Kerry Collins 4 times, returning one of them for a TD. Collins' passer rating for that game was 7.1.
Hey, well, at least he's not negative.
Yeah.
Hey, friends, it's time for some birthdays. Let's light some candles. Born in 1953, happy birthday, NHL player executive Colin Campbell. Coley in Tillsonburg, Ontario. You know him anytime you see any discipline going on, that's Coley Campbell's work.
Happy birthday, 1943, to Canadian hockey icon Paul Henderson, was born in Kincardine, Ontario.
Kincardine.
Sorry.
Kincardine.
Kincardine. Where the Chicago White Stockings often played. Okay, 19.
I guess that's the end of that one.
I was thinking of Keith Carradine, I think. is
Thank
what
you.
I was,
Don't give up on me, baby. All right, I'm ready.
Happened. 1949. NBA head coaching legend Greg Popovich was born in East Chicago, Indiana.
Thank you. All right, I'll continue that trend. In 1976, NBA center world pinball champion Todd McCulloch in Winnipeg. I can't even do Winnipeg, Manitoba in a Scottish accent.
No.
Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now, this guy, I'll tell you, just quickly on his birthday. Now, when Matt and I were in Winnipeg in college, Todd McCulloch was a huge deal in Winnipeg, and I saw him play. He went to the University of Winnipeg and played at and he was huge, massive guy. But ultimately, the greatest thing about this is that he did truly become a world pinball champion.
Yes,
if
he
you
did.
see the photos of him playing, he's massive, just looming over top of the pinball. It's like they needed bigger
He's like
buttons. and everything.
7'1".
He's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a giant. But he was incredibly hyped in Winnipeg, and I think we still kind of thought he's not going to get the NBA. It's actually happening, and then he got in the NBA. It was a huge deal.
And he doesn't get a lot of credit because his career got ended early because he was injured. He was a good player. Like he made his way in the NBA. He was a useful NBA player. He wasn't a superstar.
No.
But he would have had a longer career had he not had injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to get him on the show.
We have to get him on the show. Matt, let's make some Winnipeg calls.
Okay, we'll make the calls. Here's a call out for happy birthday.
Okay.
In 1957, to Hall of Fame golfer Nick Price was born in Durban, South Africa. I started it and then I just bailed on it.
South Africa.
South Africa.
I like it.
Okay. 1968, two-time Olympic gold medalist Canadian rower Marnie McBean in Vancouver, BC. Like I said, a lot of big-time Canadian birthdays.
It is. And happy birthday, 1977, three-time Pro Bowl quarterback Dante Culpepper. in
Great Canadian.
Ocala, Florida.
Oh.
1986, happy birthday to gold medal winning heptathlete Jessica Ennis was born in Sheffield, England.
Great Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's my last one here? 1974, 2005 World Series MVP and two-time All-Star outfielder Jermaine Dye, born in Oakland, California.
Yeah, underrated. And I tell you, he played really well with a bunch of different teams. I think it's because he moved around a lot.
Yeah.
He got a bit of underratedness on him, but good player.
Terrific player.
Mike, you have a death to report.
I do. Can we blow out the candles now? Thank you very much, Sandy. On this day in 1993, we lost WWE legend Andre the Giant in Paris, France. Just a absolute, and by all accounts, a great human being. Everybody who, have you seen the documentary, the Bill Simmons documentary? It's amazing. What that guy went through and the pain he was in all the time, pretty amazing. I remember hearing Jake the Snake Roberts talk about him. I don't want to make this too crude, but Jake the Snake said he used to have to defecate in a bathtub.
Wow.
Because he could not sit on toilets.
Whoa.
He was too big.
Have you heard of the plane story when he was on the plane and he had to poo?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
We'll have to bring it anyways. There's one of the famous wrestlers recounting this story, and the stewardesses had to hold a garbage bag.
Oh, my
man.
God.
He normally likes to go before he gets on a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
And
Missed
whatever,
it and-
people were puking all
Oh, my
all
God.
Gotta be like,
This is Matt's kind of show.
I gotta throw an allegedly out there. I'm sorry, it's just gotta.
This is
Throwing
Matt's
out an
kind of stuff
allegedly.
right here.
Anyways, funny. I'll find out who told that story. You can
he
find
would
it on
not
YouTube.
have been able to play for the Chicago White Stockings.
He would not.
No,
That
or
kind of-
or go see a comedy movie.
Or
Matt-
or be in Kincardine.
Matt, I got to tell you, if there was to be a buddy movie where it was just about two wrestlers who are roommates and it could be you and Andre the Giant and you went to take a bath.
Oh, come on now. Well, I think I've told you before. I did see as a kid, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan were both checking out the same hotel. We were after a snowstorm or something in Minneapolis, and flights were delayed. And my brother went up and asked him for an autograph, and he was a heel at the time, and so maybe that's part of it. He said no.
Yeah. Oh.
Said no. But you can't bug people when they're checking out of a hotel.
Let me ask you this. Did you get his room?
No.
Okay. Did you take a bath?
No, but he was a big guy. It was incredible being that close to him. He was a very large.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
7'5" and 550
Oh,
pounds.
man. Oh, man.
Brutus Beefcake recounts
Because
that
that story.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. It is. He can't get through telling this story.
No. I
bet.
He's dying.
Oh my
laughing.
gosh.
No, that's one of a kind.
We're gonna get Brutus on the show.
We went somewhere very deep and dirty there.
The poor man
and,
passed
what?
away.
You know
today.
what?
We're
Not
telling
fair.
poop stories about
not
it.
the kind of story you tell at a funeral.
There's another death here. I think we should.
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, thank
Just
you.
1991, Red Grange. We brought him up on the show a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Just an incredible player for Chicago.
Incredible player and could use a toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from that subject matter. Thank you so much for being part of this show, everyone who's listening out there for the last time. All right, enough is enough. We got to go get some a draft in here. Let's get a draft in here.
Let's draft it.
Let's lighten it up. Let's class it up, Matt.
Yes.
Okay.
It's time to class it up.
Yeah.
It was mostly my fault, but also
Yeah.
Frank has
Let's
to
light
take some
those
blame.
candles again, maybe.
Let's
Get those candles.
okay, and then blow them out because we got to do the draft
to
now.
get the smell out.
Get this. Thank you very much, Mike. Please, we're just trying to move on with this now. Mike, we're gonna do a draft now
I'm not first.
because because as you said,
Oh yeah.
we were talking about the logos because of the American League and all these kind of weird logos that came up. We are now going to dive into what we feel are the worst logos in sports and sports history, if you like. There are so many to choose from. But we're just going to pick 4 each.
Plethora. Yes.
That's right. And Matt, I believe you're picking first in the worst logos, and let's see what you got. And if you go to the YouTube, if you're on the podcast but you want to see these logos, go to the YouTube version because Frank's going to put up the hot graphics.
Yeah.
Of these logos as we talk about them. Matt, who do you got?
Okay, so first of all, I thought about this, and so we're going worst logos. I decided for my picks, I think for like cultural appropriation is wrong. I'm not going to include any of those in my picks.
Okay.
I just want to throw that out there. I'm just going to go with picks that are logos that I don't find make sense or appeal to me. And the first one I'm going to pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
And the problem I have is the blue tongue. It makes, like the Jaguar has a blue tongue, which makes me think it looks kind of dead.
Okay.
I mean, there's only a few animals that actually have blue tongues: chow chow dogs, giraffes, impalas, mature polar bears, but not jaguars. And I think that doesn't appeal to me. I'm saying the Jacksonville Jaguars football team is a bad logo.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Mike, who you got?
My first pick is going to be the original circa 1995 Toronto Raptors logo. Sure. With the cute little dinosaur in the circle with the lettering around it and with the pinstriped unis behind. I think I picked the Raptors jersey in ugly, awful uniforms too, but this logo, even especially on its own, is terrible. And I can't imagine anybody who put that uniform on. And I mean, they knew they were an expansion team, but I can't imagine anybody's like, yeah, let's go kick the Bulls' ass tonight.
Yeah.
Wearing that, like with a cute purple dinosaur on it. They eventually went away from that pretty quickly, but that was poor.
This one I'm going to pick is based on you had a great logo. Why did you do it? And my choice was in 1994 when the Brewers decided to go with that logo with that weird thing when they have the best logo.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
the baseball mitt one. Yeah.
Oh, the baseball mitt with the MB in it. That's to me maybe the best.
Yeah.
And then they go to this, and then of course they're like, "This is dumb. We should get out of this as quick as possible." But that is in that category of what did you change? You had a great thing going.
No coincidence. The Brewers sucked for a long time when they had that logo.
It sure did.
The owner's grandkid is a graphic artist, and he's got a great idea.
Yeah, he's got a great idea.
My nephew came up with this.
There you go.
Isn't it great?
Very 90s.
Yeah, fantastic.
Matt, pick 2.
Oh, pick 2. I'm going to go with the Carolina Hurricanes hockey team.
Okay.
It just doesn't appeal to me. It looks, it belongs on a weather map, not a jersey or a scoreboard. It's a meteorological symbol, and it may work for some people. It doesn't quite do it for me.
Was it the first logo or the current logo?
That's a great question.
The first logo, I guess they're not. They haven't changed that much. You're talking the original, like the
I'm
one
just
that has
thinking the one that.
Yeah. They're all bad, actually.
Yeah,
Carolina's
none of them are
not
great.
has yet to have a good logo.
They have good fans and stuff, but no.
Not a good logo.
Okay, my next pick is I'm sticking in my hometown again, the 2003 Blue Jays logo, which you can find here.
Yeah.
Which somehow seems to have, somehow they made the Blue Jay kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like he's sort of lurking around, like flashing a tattoo. Hey, girls, come on over here. I'll throw a ball up and down in the air and attract. They made the Blue Jay creepy and oddly muscular in his forearms. It's really unsettling, and the whole thing. Not coincidentally, also the Blue Jays sucked for a long time after coming up with this.
That was a bad one.
And another one of those, like you said, you had a great logo.
Why?
Why did you do this?
Why'd you mess with it?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's keep that train of thought going, because my next pick is the Todd McFarlane Oilers logo, which was the one that was supposed to symbolize the 5 Stanley Cups won. That was in 2011 they did that. And this was his explanation. Its sharp, blade-like shapes signify the blades of a hockey skate. The 5 rivets around the oil drop represent the 5 Stanley Cups won by the Oilers, and that's that one with the...
that one.
Looks like a meteor
terrible
coming to
it
Earth.
looks like a drop.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I always hated... I liked comic books a lot, and Todd McFarlane and his art was awful. Just they changed Spider-Man and did morphing stuff. And again, it's like, you got great characters, and then this guy comes in and ruins them. So again, it is, I've got a great logo, or I got a good thing going on. Let's do this totally thing. And I hate Spawn. Spawn's a dumb comic, and that's why I hate Todd McFarlane. Although, he's a Canadian. Good Canadian.
Not his birthday.
But he's the guy that bought the Maguire home run ball
is.
and blew it up and all that kind of stuff. But I hate that logo. Terrible.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the original, like the cartoon Mighty Ducks version. You know, the Mighty Ducks hockey.
Yeah.
The one where it's kind
with
of
the mask that that has a bill.
with the bill on it. It's a bit too like the ones it doesn't, the cartoony stuff doesn't appeal to me either.
No.
It just felt like, a lot of people agree with this one.
Again, a lot of people who put that uniform on were like, oh,
Yeah.
we're not going to win.
Doesn't scare anybody.
Yeah, we're not going
Paul
to.
Korea's not like, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we're gonna intimidate them.
I'm going to step on some holy ground here for my third pick, and I'm going to say I hate the Notre Dame leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
It's this sort of stance of this old-timey boxer from 1904 wearing the stupid green hat. I just think the whole thing is ridiculous. And
wow.
We're gonna get some haters.
I like
that's good.
that's good. I'm right. It's a terrible logo. I like the plain helmets when they have the the gold helmets.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah.
But that logo is awful.
Well, now that's fair and that's controversial. This was a logo I discovered when I was researching this and didn't really know about, but I just feel like it can't remain silent anymore. This was the Red Sox logo in the 1950s, and if you haven't seen it, I mean, it looks like a dick with a condom on it as the bottom is the chin.
With Jay Leno's chin.
And he's got a headband on, and then a hat that doesn't fit his head. That's a terrible logo.
So is he a sock?
Yeah, he's a sock.
There's no way they use that.
He's a sock.
There's no way they
No,
use
it
1950s. This was
did.
their logo.
for a number of years. Like for 10 years they used that.
Once again, my nephew is a graphic
Yeah,
artist.
Yeah.
I also might add, the Red Sox, 0 pennants in that time.
0 pennants. I'm sure Ted
was
Williams
their
loved
penance.
putting this on
Yeah.
every day. At some point, Ted Williams turned to Pesky and said, "What the fuck are we wearing?"
How are we supposed to beat the Yankees with this shit?
Guaranteed.
Like, would they wear that, or was that just?
That's their logo. I mean, they have this. They had
It'd be
that.
like on the cover of programs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible logo.
Yeah.
And everyone had to have known it. Come on.
Yeah. Are you guys sticking all with major leagues, or are you dipping into the minors at all?
You can do whatever you want. You can dip anywhere you want, Matt.
Yeah.
I'll keep it majors then. It seems like you're keeping it in the majors. I kind of like this logo, but I'll tell you the problem I have with it. So I'm going with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the pirate. You know the picture of the pirate with the eye patch?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, it's a baseball team, and if you have an eye patch, you don't have a lot of depth perception.
Okay.
So do you know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that logo. So I have a real
but
problem
I'm
with
saying
this. Okay.
like you can't see a ball come. You don't have a batting eye.
I mean,
Pirates don't play.
You realize the logo doesn't play.
wait a minute.
Like,
They're good at getting
no one's
gold.
saying the Blue Jay actually
Honest to
played
God.
in the game.
Like-
We know the dinosaur didn't play for the Raptors.
And if you imagine if this guy showed up at the plate,
that guy-
what the hell is this thing?
His chin would get hit by a pitch every time he was up.
What is going on in that? Listen, yeah, they don't play, Matt.
They don't play? Okay, I'll change it.
No,
change
you
it.
can't
No,
now.
okay, no, I
you
stand
gotta live with
behind
that.
it. I stand behind it.
No. Oh, Pirates.
stand
You
behind
go
it.
I have to
Pirates.
wear that one.
Those are your 4.
I like the look of it. I just think
Oh, it doesn't logically
it's a-
make sense to you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Okay, this is a little bit of an obscure one. This is from the 1952 and 1953 St. Louis Browns, who I will add, after 1953 moved to Baltimore. I'm not kidding. That's the logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
The brownies.
It's like an alien sort of space. I don't know what that is, but it's terrifying and ugly, and the colors are awful, and they have like antenna.
Well, a brownie is like a Sprite, isn't it? Like
it's brownie. Yeah, like the brownies, like the like Girl Guide brownies. It's like a little Sprite.
But I'll agree
It's like an elvish. It's not not a winning logo.
No. And
the Browns left. They had to leave after that logo.
It was so bad.
We got to go to Baltimore. We can't.
Now this is always when you're last pick and you got a lot of choices to go, because I have a lot of ones I really, really hated. But I hate this Golden State Warriors logo. Just have the bridge one. Yeah. Everyone's okay with the bridge. Yeah. What is that?
That's bad.
What year was that?
Trying to be too cool. Not that long ago.
That was like the Baron Davis years, wasn't it?
I'd say that's probably about right, but they held on to that for a long time, trying to make that happen. And I think they had mascots. They were dressed like that.
Oh, really?
They wore the full blue suits and they walked around and they did
holding lightning bolts.
Yeah, they were like miming and stuff. And I think there were two of them, if I look up correctly. And it was like people at the fans wanted them to go away so badly.
Yes.
You can go to Blue Man Group for an hour, but you don't need a whole game of the Blue Man Group running around the stands.
No, that's true.
Hey guys,
terrible.
Yeah.
One of my cameras died. It's on Matt.
Let's do one more round.
Do a bonus round.
We have so many extras in here. Let's do one bonus round. Our fifth pick. Matt, who you got?
All right. If we're doing a bonus round, I am going to dip into the minors, and I'm going to go with the Montgomery Biscuits.
Yep. I don't think you want to say that too many times. Montgomery Biscuits.
Why not?
Oh, nothing. Just nothing.
It kind of looks like a drive-through kind of logo. Have you seen
Montgomery Biscuits? Nope, but I like the description.
Okay.
All right. Mike, bonus round.
Then if we're going to do a bonus round, I got this one here. This is this is for 13 years, the Philadelphia Phillies logo. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a boy and a girl dressed in some kind of Revolutionary War outfits.
Yeah.
Because 1776 Philadelphia and all that. They had that logo for 13 years, and also, as you're saying with Golden State, they were mascots as well.
Oh.
Before
terrible.
They had the Philadelphia Fanatic,
yeah.
these two were their mascots.
Walking around, shaking hands.
Amazingly, the Phillies did win their first World Series while they had this logo.
1980?
In 1980. So our theory goes wrong there, but I still hold that's awful. So that's my bonus pick.
Okay.
There's just the Montgomery Biscuits if you didn't.
See how he's kind of leaning around the M there?
It is very much like a weird, sinister drive-through, I have to say. You're very much right. Okay, well, if I'm going to bonus round, this is a great opportunity because, again, you got some great things going on, and then the Astros go, let's go with this one. 1994 switch up for this weird, we're going to go super spacey modern in 1994.
I think that's the Astrodome, right? I assume that's what the...
Oh, it's the shape on the outside.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is, but it's
just... And those were good teams. So this is what Bagwell and Biggio and Berkman and all these guys are going out and playing with on their jerseys.
Bagwell won MVP that year.
In that dumb jersey.
In that dumb, awful... With really weird colors too, and
that's it exactly. Like people say, oh, where's the orange? You need the orange. You need something in there. This gold Astros is so bad.
It is terrible.
It's indicative of the '90s because the Brewers and the Astros in the same year did this color combo. Essentially, this kind of gold blue look, completely blowing up what was kind of a good thing. Yeah. Thankfully, they both went back to something normal. So
it's almost like a new Coke thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go away from it for a couple years, everybody hates it, and then when the Islanders did that too with the Captain Highliner uniforms for a couple years. Yeah. They bring the old logo back, and everybody goes crazy and buys all new stuff again.
Yeah. That is the tactic, I think. We'll take the hit to come back.
And also you'll sell more of even if they aren't great, you'll sell more of the new one.
It's fresh and something new.
Yeah, and people will want that.
So we now have 15 different logos for our judge to check out, see which team she likes the most. Let's go now and be judged for our worst logos in sports. All right. This is going to be a very special judge today. A native of Nova Scotia and a graduate of the University of Western. Go to hell, Mustangs. Am I right? Kylee is best known for playing Stephanie Borden on 7 seasons of Good Witch on the Hallmark Channel, as well as appearances in movies like Luckiest Girl Alive and Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Both are on Netflix. She was case girl number 19 on Deal or No Deal Canada and co-hosted the game show Just Like Mom and Dad with some dork. And she has a sports connection, having hosted The Inbox back in the day on Sportsnet. And she's killing it in the animated voice world on such cartoons as Esme and Roy, The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that with Martin Short, and Bakugan Armored Alliance. Super talented, absolutely gorgeous, and somehow she tolerates being married to me. Please welcome to the show, Kylee Evans. Hello, Kylee.
Woo! Hello. Hi.
No,
Hi.
I'm feeling very lucky to be on here with all of you.
thank you. Well,
That'll fade quickly, but thank you for saying that.
you know, I was going to make a comment like that, but then I knew Mike would cover it off. So
You'll regret this in about 5 minutes.
Kylee, I'm broadcasting from Mike's house. Mike's broadcasting from Mexico. You're in our house. Matt?
Undisclosed location.
That's right. Somewhere in the desert with Art and Bell. So Kylee, we wanted to have you on the show because you have a sense of design. You're very into design, whether it's home design or clothing, whatever it is, but you seem to have a real good eye for design. And this is all about logos and particularly some of the worst logos in our opinion in sports. So we felt like you were perfect for this job. Are you up for it?
I'm definitely up for it. I do have a good eye. I am designing. We're going through a house renovation right now, which is why I don't have a logo on. I also noticed, Matt, you don't have a logo on. So I don't feel horrible about it. But I was feeling really bad because all my clothes are in storage, all my logo clothes.
Yeah. So we tasked you with these 3 different teams of logos, and so thought what we might jump in and do is we can just say like, okay, team 1, and then give who the overview of them are, and then you can just dig into individually what you think of that team, and then we'll move on through the teams like that. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, perfect. All right, and for those people who are listening on the podcast and you want to see the logos, go to our YouTube version. You'll see those. They're all going to be posted up there by the great Frank Russo in our graphics department. He'll get those graphics up there for everybody to see on the YouTube version.
For
And if you're
school
already
credit.
there, yeah. Team 1.
Yes.
That is the new Brewers logo that came out. We have the Oilers alternate jersey from a few years back. We have a 1950s Red Sox jersey logo. The Golden State Warriors with that blue weird person there, and then the Astros, a sort of modernized Astros logo. That was team 1. So Kylee, just talking about that team, some thoughts on some of those.
Well, good team. I will say that I really appreciate the first team with the comparison, what it used to be, like good, and then what it is now, what it became. I appreciated that.
That's the Brewers logo. Yes,
that is the Brewers logo, and that that sort of gave it away who I think Team 1 is. And I really like the gloved hand, the Brewers logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, no, it's not a good logo. Definitely not a good logo. It's like they put the bats there just so you knew it was a baseball team, and yeah, not a good logo.
Would you wear it? Like if somebody gave you a jersey with that logo on, would you wear it?
I don't think I would. It's like muddy, the M and the B, like you don't know where it sort of starts and ends, especially the middle where it joins. I would not wear that logo. It's very busy.
All right.
that's totally fair. That's totally fair. And then jumping into the next one on that roster of logos, you had the alternate for the Oilers, the McFarlane alternate, trying to represent the cups that the Oilers had won. What do you think of that?
Yeah, this is a terrible logo. And I was like, what is this? A gear, a cog, it looks like a weapon, like that somebody in prison crafted.
Shank.
A shiv.
Sorry.
A shiv.
Yeah. It just reminded me of, Star Wars or Star Trek or something. And then I did some research. A lot went into that logo. A lot went into that. Do you know there are 5 little notches that's to represent their 5 cups? That's too much went into that. That's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous logo for anyone to have thought about it that much. But I did see someone who said this is the best Oilers logo. They should return to it, and they have crafted themselves a belt buckle of that.
A belt buckle. Ooh. Okay.
The notches. I didn't know that about the notches representing the cups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of a weird flex, like check out the notches, bro.
Like, and what happens when you win a 6th?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally useless at that point, really. That's
maybe best for everyone.
And that was Todd McFarlane, who's the creator of Spawn, and was also a big artist for Spider-Man, amongst others. Big '90s comic book artist who's from Alberta and is a big sports fan. But that just doesn't work, in your opinion.
Does not work. It's a terrible logo. But you tell me who made the logo. Yes, it is very comic book like. So
yeah. This is a great segue into the 1950s Red Sox logo. What did you think of that particular treat?
Looks to me like he has a dick for a chin. Like, it just looks like it's a giant dick at batting practice.
That's what we were going to name this podcast.
Yeah, giant dick at batting practice.
I thought it looked like a butt.
A butt?
Yeah. You think? Okay. I guess it's just
like an ass, like a
yeah.
Like a wart on the end.
I guess.
Okay, now it's a giant red dick, which is scary in itself.
Like, why doesn't his hat fit? And like, why has he got a headband? It's so weird. It's so weird. I would agree. I don't know what they're going for, but I think they wore these in the 50s for a while. I heard, and may have been just the shoulder patch, perhaps. But yikes, Ted Williams wore that. Let's just say that much.
I think it was also on the cover of programs for the game and stuff too.
Terrible.
So you get a nice big dick chin to look at while you watch the game.
No, it's a terrible logo, but funny, like very humorous.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. But none of those guys in the 50s wanted to have a dick chin logo. There's no way.
Well,
I don't think so.
Probably not.
We're shifting now. This is the Team 1 continuing at the Golden State Warriors with the sort of blue warrior character, I guess. Thoughts on that, Kylee?
Again, I think this is an awful logo. The warrior, I guess he's supposed to be a warrior. It does not look like a warrior. He looks like a comic book character or like a villain in a comic book. So I don't know really what they were going for there, but I don't like
it. They were a terrible team too, so it works out.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, when you look at it again, you're like, it's like one of those like green screen blue suits sort of look. He's carrying a lightning bolt, but there's no reflection in my mind of why that's a warrior. Not a great choice. Not a great choice.
He looks almost like a comic book Blue Man group or something.
Yep. Yeah. Absolute nightmare. And the Astros. Now we're all familiar with the Astros, what they were. They had that tequila sunrise look, for the classic look, and then they were a lot of orange, and they've gone back a lot to the orange. This was a point where they decided to, I guess, modernize it. I think, Mike, you might have pointed out that this was like supposed to be like the Astrodome, the shape of this, right?
I think that's what the thing is but the whole thing is a disaster.
I couldn't figure out why whoever put it down as one of the worst logos, other than it's so boring. And I couldn't figure out what the blue was, like what it was representative of. Sandy, you have an Astros jersey, correct?
I do have an Astros jersey, yes. A classic.
Yes. I also hate that jersey. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't like the Houston Astros.
They are, yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. They are dirty cheaters.
Yeah.
But I guess when it was what they call that tequila sunrise look, I think people really were nostalgic for it because it was kind of outrageous in a lot of ways and it was interesting. But yeah, then when we went to this, it wasn't great. And these are good teams. This is, am I correct? This is the '90s. This is like Bagwell and Biggio and Berkman.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
Wall. Yeah, it was a good team.
maybe not the worst of the five on that team, but it's still up there. Well, let's switch to team two, Kylie.
Okay.
Team two.
Okay.
This starts off with the Raptors' first logo from 1995 and into a few years. Of course, the purple look with the dinosaur. What do you think of that one?
Okay. I have always hated this logo. I was so embarrassed that that this was our logo. It was just so cartoonish. It's very busy. Like there's the raptor and there's the claws and the ball and the thing and the that. And it was like, I just feel like if you wanted to be fierce or like think our team is a winning team and we're fierce and we have these claws, like you don't put a cartoon dinosaur on it as well. I also didn't like the whole like Jurassic Park thing. I still don't like that. I don't like that it's called Jurassic Park. I don't know. I don't like that logo.
I think it's noted as being a little childish for sure and a little weird. I wonder what anyone's sort of thinking was why Toronto was associated with dinosaurs, other than I guess they were popular in the '90s. I don't know what it is.
I know, like it would have been one thing if it was Calgary or something where, in Alberta, there's lots of dinosaur fossils we find all the time. Like Toronto has no history of that whatsoever.
No, I think it was just in the zeitgeist at the time, right? Like,
I think that's it. Yeah.
I think dinosaurs are, you think back to like when you had themes in school that you were learning about, and like dinosaurs was like a huge thing for kids. I don't know, maybe they were like trying to appeal to the children.
I do think that was part of it too. Yeah. It's like they knew they weren't going to have a good team for a while. So
segue into the second one here with the Blue Jays, with the muscular Blue Jay reaching around a T. Who do you think that's appealing to, Kylie?
Again, is this supposed to be Ace, the mascot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah, perhaps.
The T itself isn't horrible. If they didn't do the like internal T, but it's like a double T, and that internal T is awful. Again, Ace is like super muscular.
It's creepy, right? He's like the creepy guy who hangs out at the ballpark with a tattoo and he drives a Chevy. He kind of leans around throwing the ball. Like you can sort of see him with a toothpick in his mouth or something. He's gross.
Yeah, he does look like a creep. And if you are trying to appeal to little leaguers and kids with this, which is for me very cartoonish, I don't know why he made him so creepy and weird.
So this is essentially like the St. Catharines Blue Jay. Hey, Mike?
Settle down.
Okay.
It's a touchy subject.
But they did say that this logo was so bad it only lasted one season.
That is correct.
And it was the 2003 season, but they do say that you can never forget this logo because two major things happened that year. One was Roy Halladay won the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And two, someone else, I can't remember who, scored 4 home runs in a season.
Delgado. Yeah, Delgado hit 4 home runs that year. That's right.
So they said whether you hate that logo or not, you will never forget it, ever.
You have no choice.
No. Well, we're continuing this cartoony feel with this team big time because next up, the Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish logo.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, I just can't get away, but it's really not like to own this team 2 owner. Doesn't like this logo a lot. What is your thoughts on this, guy?
So I've always known this logo. I guess I didn't really think anything bad of it. I know Notre Dame is hated by a lot of people. They're also loved by a lot of people. Upon doing some research, though, people are very angry about this logo because it is depicting an angry ethnic group, and they're saying it should have been banned a long time ago. And a lot of college teams have had to change their logos due to things like this, and never has followed the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I think too the problem is they'd have to change their team name,
right?
More than the logo. You know, like they are the Fighting Irish, which is exactly what that logo depicts. Yeah. the drunken fighting Irishman. And the problem is that unless they change their team name, that's what everybody's going to think of.
That's it.
This shifts us right into a depiction of for the Phillies, which looks nothing like anyone I've ever seen in Philadelphia, or nothing that represents at all Philadelphia. Two kids having fun at the ballpark in their Revolutionary War gear.
Yep. Phil and Phyllis.
What do they call them?
Phil and Phyllis.
Phil and Phyllis.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
And they actually were mascots. And they had these giant, like 15-foot statues of them.
Oh boy.
And they were not popular. And so they finally phased them out. And a fun fact about those statues is they went on sale, and a theme park in New Jersey bought them, and they're still there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Kylee, you've done more research for this show than we ever do for ourselves, and you've definitely topped several guests that come to mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Easily.
I think this Phillies, though, when you look at it, I'm looking at it now, does it not look like a Saturday morning cartoon? Like,
yeah.
Are you going to see a baseball game or to watch, a cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the interstitials they'd have in the Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s and be like, Phil and Phyllis are teaching you how to not to play by the train tracks. There's, it's that kind of vibe for sure.
But they always do it wrong,
Oh, yeah.
One loses a limb. They're oddly sexualized to me too, though, and they're supposed to be siblings. But
wait, what?
What?
The way they're looking at each other, and he's just tossing the ball, and it's like, "Hey, Phyllis." I don't know. I just.
There's a theme. There's a theme to this team. It's a lot of creepy people.
So how did you guys meet? We'll move on.
Once again, this is my wife. Moving into the last one on this team, a cartoon as well as the St. Louis Browns logo, the little brownie cartoon. Yeah, sort of. And this is interesting, I think, because essentially this is what ends up being like Cleveland Browns doing the same sort of thing with their brownie look as well. So what do you think of this St. Louis Browns look, Kylee?
It's just creepy and weird. It's like an alien brownie. If you want it to be the brownies, you should be the brownies or the sprites or the whatevers. But like I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. Like why? Why do you have a sprite as your logo if your team is the Browns? Also, what does it have to do with St. Louis? I don't know. There are landmarks in St. Louis. There are things to put on your logo. Don't not some weird brown thing with alien antenna.
And I mean, obviously, it's very sexual.
In keeping with the theme.
You can edit that out.
Oh no! This is what the fans want to hear. Gooch fans tuning in to hear you talk about sexual logos.
Right.
Team 3.
It's not ball. It's so lit.
Team 3, Kylee. So far, though, you have agreed that they're bad logos, so that's interesting all along. I wonder if you're going to like any of these ones. Team 3 starts off with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the blue-tongued Jaguar. Any thoughts on that?
Okay. This didn't bump me as a bad logo. It's a jaguar. It's a cat. I have questions about the green tongue.
Yeah.
Blue. Yeah.
Like why? Blue, whatever it is. But so I did a little research on that, but to me it was just like a cartoony cat, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't a horrible logo to me. And when I did the research, this is the second incarnation of the cat. And some people said, I like this one so much better because the spots are more realistic.
Weird Jacksonville. This is we're moving into the Carolina Hurricanes. This is this Hurricanes logo now. What do you think of that one?
I hate this logo. I've always hated this logo. It looks like a toilet being flushed, as we all know. I also, this is the thing for me with this logo. Okay, I get it's the hurricane, the eye of the hurricane. Nowhere in that logo have they incorporated the letter C, I don't think.
No.
Interesting.
Like,
yeah.
It's all swirls and arcs, and yet you couldn't have somehow made a C in it? I don't know.
I mean, could one of the arcs be a C? I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, I don't, yeah.
It's not clear to me. Yeah. It's
just a toilet. It's flushing the North American way, I think. It's not the Australian way. I think it is actually flushing the correct way.
Yeah.
I follow that. See, it's pretty bad. I above all, I just, yeah, it's like, as you said, there's so many other options. Yeah. And someone got paid a lot of money to come up with that design.
Yeah.
Here's a classic. The Mighty Ducks, the original team logo for the Mighty Ducks.
Okay. I think this is a logo that people hated when it came out because it was the first sort of juvenile logo, really.
Yep.
To me, though, if you have a team that's owned by Disney, that's what you're going to get. And it was based, we already knew it was based on the movie or the team in the movie. I don't know. It's not a great logo, but I don't hate it the way other people hated it, because if you take it for what it was or what it's meant to be.
There was a logo that's popped in my head, was the California Golden Seals logo. And there was something I was just thinking about that, like how weird that logo was. And one thing that strikes you on that logo, if you get a chance to look it up, is it's like they created the seal, went, oh, how the fuck is he going to hold a hockey stick? And then they just kind of pasted it on the body. Like, they kind of backed themselves into a corner.
What really bummed me, though, is, you had the Mighty Ducks and it was so cartoony. And then they went in the exact opposite direction when they rebranded. Like, we went from like fun to corporate, I guess. I don't know. It's just, they were so corporate.
I think that was when Disney sold the team, right? Is that when that happened?
I guess that makes complete sense. And it's the weird thing in Anaheim is it's like they change their names all the time. It seems the Angels and the Ducks are constantly changing the name of the team. It's so weird. This picture Pirates. Now the Pirates have had several different incarnations of the pirate logo, and this was the particular one that was chosen by Team 3 for us to examine. Sort of the kerchief, red and black one. That's the bad one that's chosen here.
Yeah.
The eye patch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dirty, and he looks drunk, and he just, it's just a weird thing. It's like, how gross can you make this pirate look? And I think when I did research this, it's funny because there's another incarnation of the pirate that is more cartoony almost, and it looks like it's the logo for a seafood restaurant.
Oh yeah, Long John Silver's.
Yeah, but somebody else said this particular Pittsburgh logo that was given was 97 to 2013. So that is a long friggin' time to keep a logo, and they said it was just associated with so much losing.
Yeah, really bad teams. So this is kind of like a St. Catharines pirate, eh, Mike?
Okay, that's twice.
a dirty drunk pirate.
It is a dirtbag pirate, especially when you consider like the We Are Family pirates in the 70s. He was like a kind of a totally happy pirate, he's on the up and everything's great. This guy looks real pissed off that he's losing.
Yeah.
Shady.
Yeah. He's seen better days, this guy.
Final one, which I think proves some deep research, Montgomery Biscuits.
Yes. I appreciate whoever put this in here because it was a fun logo to me and a new team that I had never seen this logo before. It didn't bump me as like a bad logo. It actually made me laugh a lot. And I learned that the reason they did it was because it didn't look scary to kids.
Mhm.
And they bragged that they are the first U.S. team, which I don't know who else followed suit, to actually sell biscuits at the games.
Oh, that's nice.
And they are known to fire off biscuits into the crowd at these games.
But that actually makes sense but don't you find it looks like more like a drive-through? Like you don't look like you feel like you're going to a baseball game. You're like, oh, let's pull over here and get some biscuits. And maybe you would if you go to the game, you'll get some biscuits. Also, his tongue is butter, and that's
He has a pat of butter.
that's just kind of weird.
Oh man, it is weird. It's just miles of weird. I thought it was is it a mustache? No, it's the top of a biscuit. And as Kylie said, it's funny that probably no other team has followed suit and served biscuits at a game, so they're probably the first and only. And I'm assuming it's Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah.
And on a food note, I will throw in some whoever's it was, but with the Jacksonville Jaguar with that teal tongue, apparently at like one of their first or like preseason games, they would give out teal candies so you could make your tongue look teal as well.
Cool.
Kylie, if you go to this game, are you taking a candy? Are you going blue tongue?
I'm not going blue tongue.
No. Okay.
No, not
No.
doing it. No, and I know you aren't either, Matt. So
No, I probably wouldn't do that.
Well, Kylie, we've gone through them all.
Yep.
There's all those different teams, and so when you assemble those teams each as a whole, of the three, can you declare a winner in the worst logos contest?
I'm finding it difficult because you all did such a great job, and they're all for very different reasons. I think Team 2 is basically their reasoning for them being bad is because they're too maybe adolescent or cartoony.
Okay.
Team
The pervy cartoon team.
Yeah, Team 3 also I think chose a lot for the cartoon factor or the juvenile factor. Team 1 has the most is the most rounded, I would say, and I really think that Red Sox logo is disgusting. Guys,
do you think you could name?
I want us to lobby you.
Do
you think you can name who's each person's team is?
Guys, I thought I could, but I think I changed my mind while doing. But do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I think Team 1 is Sandy.
Yes.
I think Team 2 is Mike. And I think Team 3 is Matt.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there is one thing that I heard you say, and I will say at home, we avoided you talking about this. I didn't want to know. I said savor the podcast, but at one point I heard Kylie say, "Boy, Team 3 needs some inner child work."
Oh wow.
Because of the Mighty Ducks. Because I was like, come on.
Oh, the Mighty Ducks. Okay.
I'm just surprised Mike didn't get it on his team because he was going after kind of the juvenile ones. I just figured, it's based on a movie, and I didn't like the Raptors, the same things. It's kind of like having the Sacramento James Bonds or like the San Francisco Jedis, or you know what I mean? I just felt like, come up with a name independent of don't tie yourself to a movie franchise.
Yeah, both the Raptors and the Ducks logos, in retrospect, kind of represent the beginnings of the serious corporatization of professional sports too.
Yeah, right.
Where teams were just so blatantly not even trying to hide that they were in it to market first and play sports second, almost, which is why I think Matt and I picked those teams, because it's not a high point for either of us, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, Kylie, you would know this if they were mine now that you know, but the Jaguars, a blue tongue, there are animals with blue tongues. A jaguar is not one. So to me, an animal with a blue tongue, like that feels like it's dead. Do you know what I mean? Do you want your team out there dead to begin?
Kind of what happened to the Jaguars anyway.
And I feel like the Pirates logo, and I just want to get it fully out there, like I had said, if you have an eye patch, you aren't going to see the ball coming at you well because of depth perception. But then I did a little very little research, and I found that with one eye you have monocular vision, and you actually can have depth perception. Your brain can relearn depth perception, but you might still have a trickier time picking up moving objects. So it just seemed weird for a baseball team to have an eye patch.
So
would it be more acceptable to have a pirate logo without an eye patch? Like, are there pirates without eye patches?
That's a great question. And why do we associate pirates with eye patches?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I guess it's because that image probably was like drawn into like Treasure Island, and people forever thought that's how it looks. And certainly when I was a kid and I dressed up as a pirate, it was essential I had an eye patch on, and
it was kind of what told everybody you were a pirate.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. It's villainous to have a patch on. It's weird, and that's why I feel bad when people in real life are nice people with patches, because it doesn't come off that way. Kylee, what's that?
I have to deliberate.
Yes, you do. You have to unfortunately pick a winner, even though we've revealed who each team is. No biases. What do you think?
No biases, because I love you all.
Thank you.
Team 1. I really hate that Oilers logo, and I really hate the Red Sox logo. And I appreciated the comparison on the one, but I have to say, the Houston Astros just didn't do it for me. It was like, I really don't care. Like, whatever. There are many more bad logos than that. Team 3, the Mighty Ducks. Come on, Matt, fun. Like, for kids. I loved that you included the Montgomery biscuits, but if I had to pick a winner, I think overall well-rounded, creepy, weird, I have to give it to Team 2.
Wow, there we go.
Overall creepy weird is Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like in real life, Mike.
It all comes together for me finally. I don't win these very often, so clearly I should stick with my sort of creepy theme when I pick my picks.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a sexualized ace and a sexualized 18th century role-playing siblings, and you really knocked it out of the park here.
Yeah, that's right. I've finally found my sweet spot in these things.
Yeah, that's it. Mike picked pervy cartoons. Kylie immediately saw through it. And then it's like a St. Catherine special, right, Mike?
All right,
the hat trick.
I knew you were going to bring it back.
Kylie, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for seeing things that maybe not all of us saw.
Yes.
And I think Mike could use the win on that one, which is great. We can all agree on that. Kylie, come back to the show another time. And I think next time we're going to bring the other two wives too. And I think that's going to be a real interesting show.
Yeah, that will be the best.
That will be good. Kylie, you're already one of our best guests ever. Thank you very much for doing this.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. Awesome. I loved it. Sandy, come home now.
Okay. I'm leaving Mike's house now.
Get out of my house.
Thanks, Kylie.
Bye.
Thank you, Kylie.
Okay, well, hey, that was a good judgment. I know it was a little bit, maybe some favoritism off the top, you might think, or maybe it was a problem when that judge popped up. But,
2 words: bullshit.
Regardless, bullshit.
We also
Mike often had that reaction to judgments. Yes.
Great judgment.
Yes.
But we also have an update on our goal scoring.
Yeah.
Sandy, what is the record for
I believe
NHL?
it was Punch Broadbent.
Punch Broadbent.
Yeah, it was
longest streak.
16 games straight. And that was back in 1920 22. That was with the Senators, the original Ottawa Senators back when. 16 straight games of the goal.
And who's third on that list?
Well, Charlie Simmer was the modern day.
Oh, okay.
79-80. But Mike will be excited about this, and Frank too. Third on that list, New Zealand.
There you go.
Okay. So New Zealand makes it onto another list and another episode of This Day in Sports. Always exciting to hear about Doozy Lalonde. I know our crowd out there is in the over 100 demographic, so I'm sure they enjoy Blast from the Past with Doozy Lalonde. That was another This Day in Sports. We're just cutting out of January now. Getting around the corner to February. We're excited to get into a new month, but thanks as always for listening. I'm Sandy Jobin Bevins.
I'm Matt Kippen.
Mike Shera.
Frank Russo over there checking the facts.
The silent guy.
Yep, the silent guy. And we'll see you soon. Hear from us soon.
Hey, Elvis is out of here.
And then they'll say that Elvis is leaving the building. See you next time on This Day. See you next time on This Day of Sports.
Get the car.
He's left the building.